The Chicago Cubs have missed the playoffs for the past 4 years, but that's all about to change this season, as they currently sit 10 games above 500 and first place in the NL Central thanks to one man, their new up-and-coming superstar in Pete Crow-Armstrong, who has really been able to elevate his play and dominate in nearly every aspect of the game so far in 2025. You want to talk about base running, batting, defense, it doesn't matter because Crow-Armstrong is at the top in nearly every statistical category this season. And when a team has a star like PCA to rally around, it makes winning all the more easier. Now, Crow-Armstrong is only 23 years old, and while he has been on the Cubs for a few seasons now, the reason he is finally under the spotlight, and deservedly so, is because of his improved power hitting, which has seen an astronomical increase this season as he has gone on to hit 12 home runs in 47 games. And when you compare that to last season, there is a massive improvement there, because in 123 games that he played for the Cubs last season, he had only hit 10 home runs. And he also has a much higher slugging percentage, as he currently sits at about .585, again, top 5 in the National League. Whereas just a year ago, that percentage was more at about .380. Now, this newfound power did not come out of thin air. No, he attributes this new success to adjustments he's made to his swing, which have allowed for Pete Crow-Armstrong to pull and lift the ball more effectively. And when you look at his numbers, you can see that his pull percentage on fly balls has increased and has led to a higher home run to fly ball rate. So what he's saying does check out. And we'll talk more about Pete Crow-Armstrong and not just his hitting in a second, but for right now, I wanted to remind you guys to slow down, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10,000, and every subscription is greatly appreciated, so please subscribe. Now, another aspect of the game that PCA has gotten much better at this season is stealing bases, which isn't something you'd expect just by looking at him. I mean, he is a 6-foot white kid with a silly haircut from Sherman Oaks, California, and yet in 47 games, he already has 14 stolen bases, again putting him at top 5. This time he's number 3 in the National League with a 90% success rate. And because he's stealing so many bases, he's able to score a lot more often. That's probably why he's already got 34 runs scored on this season, 10th in the National League, because even if his teammates aren't helping him move forward on the base path, he'll just do it himself and take a base. These pitchers have not been able to pick him off, and it's not like Pete Crow-Armstrong is some speed demon. He just knows how to read a pitcher, and he showed glimpses of this last season. He did have 27 stolen bases, but the reason it's happening much more often is because he's gotten a lot more aggressive on the base path, and that's thanks to his confidence increasing because of the way he's hitting. If you're going to hit like Pete Crow-Armstrong, then the rest of your game is just going to feel a lot better because you're going to be confident in what you do. He's putting up near MVP numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of this season, we are talking about PCA in the MVP convo. I know it is a bit early for that. We're barely a quarter of the way into the 2025 season. A lot more baseball needs to be played. However, I wouldn't count PCA out for being a top 5 MVP candidate in the National League when it's all said and done. Now, I know I've talked a lot about how PCA has improved this season, but it's not like he was bad at everything one year and then all of a sudden got good. No, the reason the Cubs gave this guy a chance was because of the way he played defense. It's always been the highlight of PCA's game, and he's only continued on that success this year because, again, his defensive play just continues to be elite, and that's thanks to his exceptional range and the way he's able to read a runner. His ability to cover a lot of the ground in center field and make difficult catches saves runs and prevents opposing teams from getting extra bases on their hits. And if you thought that PCA's numbers on the offensive side of the ball looked good, well, his defensive numbers are about to blow you out of the water. Because of course, a guy like PCA is going to be first in putouts and assists at center field. He's got 126 putouts this season in 47 games, along with 8 assists. And my boy has only committed 3 errors, and with how often he's getting the ball, Only 3 errors is quite impressive. We're talking about the Gold Glove winner in center field in 2025, because that is exactly what award PCA is guaranteed this season. Even if he doesn't walk away with the MVP, which is already kind of a long shot, he is winning a Gold Glove. Maybe even a Silver Slugger if he keeps batting the way he does. But if you've ever watched an interview or a press conference from PCA, he isn't the type of guy to care about individual awards or individual success. He doesn't care that he's second in wins above replacement so far this season in the National League, or that he's 6th in offensive WAR, or 3rd in defensive WAR. That doesn't come to his mind. All he cares about is team success, which is exactly what the Chicago Cubs are having, something they haven't had for quite a while. Ever since they won that World Series almost a decade ago, the team has been quite shaky. Sure, they had a few nice seasons after that, but then went straight into a rebuild. They haven't really retained any of their players from that World Series, and it makes sense. It's almost been a decade for them. But this new-look Chicago Cubs team, led by Pete Crow-Armstrong, might just be able to do what that 2016 team did for the city of Chicago. And that is bring home the Chicago Cubs' 4th ever World Series championship. This is why the sport of baseball is so great, because in no other sport are you going to see a guy like PCA rise to the level of success the way he has. And it's also thanks to some of the key veterans that they have in this locker room. He is getting to play alongside some really good ball players. I'm talking about a Dansby Swanson at shortstop, and then alongside him in the outfield, he's also got guys like Ian Happ or Kyle Tucker, all of whom have helped PCA in his journey in the major leagues. And it's only going to get better, not only for him, but for the Chicago Cubs. Because do I see the Cardinals or the Pirates or any other team in the division coming close to the Cubs by the time the end of the season rolls around? Absolutely not. Maybe the Cardinals give them a little run for their money, but honestly, as long as the Cubs are able to maintain this level of success, there is no way that they don't pull away with this division. And once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen in October baseball. That I can guarantee you. Hell, we may not even be that far away from seeing PCA on the cover of Sports Illustrated or even on a Wheaties box. The MLB needs to start marketing this man more than they already are. Because what I will tell you is that he is going to be one of the future faces of baseball, up there with a guy like Elly De La Cruz, Fernando Tatis Jr., Shohei Ohtani. That is how they're going to talk about Pete Crow-Armstrong in the next 3 to 5 years if he can keep playing at this level of ball, especially in a big market like Chicago, a top 3 market in the United States. Yeah, Chicago has been missing a superstar in just about every sport, but now they may have just found their guy for baseball. But anyway, I think I've covered everything I've wanted to with PCA's rise, the way he hits, the way he steals bases, the way he plays defense. There is nothing that this guy can't do. So I'll catch y'all later. Much love. Deuces.